we're taking a little bit of a road trip this week. That's right, we're hopping one state over. The border's not that far from where I am, actually. This week, we are talking to Mike Raspante of Alabama Surf Casco. You can find them on all social media platforms at AL Surf Cast Co. Take a look at that. There's a lot of cool information. He's got a lot of fun things to share. So I hope you're ready. Got your notebook set up. We're going to get into some education. You're listening to Finding Demo Surf Fishing. Here we go. Yes, refreshing new week. Man, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Life is going well for you, and you are just out there fishing, crushing it, away from anything bad, and just getting ready to limit out. So everything here in the Florida area has been interesting, but like I said, we're going to move over to Alabama. It's been fun. A couple times we've gone over there with the conversation pieces, and this week will be no different. Like I said, we're going to be talking with Mike Raspante of Alabama Al Surf Casco. I'm always going to say Alabama. I know I am. I don't know what it is. But we're going to be talking with him this week. And like I said, we're going to have some fun. So I'm done flipping my jibs. I know I'm just rambling. I apologize. So without further ado, Mike, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Always fun.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying your content, man. You've had a lot of fun stuff going lately.
Thank you.
So we're get right into it. We're going to go right off the nose and just start plugging away here. Tell us your story.
Just start firing away.
Yep.
Well, we're born and raised in New England. Faye fishes with me all the time, so we're kind of a team together, getting out there fishing. So just a couple crazy New Englanders who made their way to the Gulf Coast. I spent a lot of time when I was a kid fishing with my dad, and got away from it for a while, and then I got back into it a little later, and I've been hooked on it ever since. It's been kind of an obsession, and it's never going to end.
Not a bad thing. Not even a little.
Nope.
It's funny. You're like the fourth or fifth fellow New Englander I've interviewed now.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Yeah, we are. We all just come down here. I don't know what it is.
It's winter.
It is. We understand winter, and we shun it.
Yeah. After a while, it gets old.
Yeah. What part of New England are you from, though?
I'm from the Lakes region of New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire. Yeah, live free or die state.
Yes, sir.
You weren't too far from me. Okay. Well, so New Hampshire down to Florida. Okay, so you started saying you loved fishing. What got you into fishing, though?
Oh, God. Well, probably my buddy got me into fishing, and I think one of the first trips he took me on was a trip to a pond that was loaded with smallmouth bass.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We just smashed tons of smallmouth bass all day long, and I was just like, this is it. This is awesome. And after that, it was just fishing all the time.
Nice. It's kind of it's funny when I talk to people about this, and I think it's the same as New Hampshire as it is in Maine. A pond is not a little body of water. It is a decent body size water, which could borderline be called a lake. But lakes are basic monsters in New England. It's not tiny like a quote unquote pond. Is that what they're saying up there?
Yeah. Basically, like Shelby Lake down here is a small pond in New Hampshire.
I love that.
And it's also very, very shallow as well. Like quite. a lot of our ponds. I mean, there's some ponds around where I'm from that are like volcanic holes, and they don't really know. It's 100+ feet deep. So I mean, there's monster trout in there, and it's an amazing fishery.
Yeah. I go up to see my family up in Maine quite a bit, and we go to one place in particular. I think it's called Lower Enchanted Pond. We call it Bulldog Pond. I think it gets somewhere around 137 feet deep at its center point, and you can
Yeah,
just crush trout, bass, smallmouth, largemouth. It's a never-ending pool of fishing. Ugh,
yeah,
ponds are real. Okay.
yeah. You never know what you're gonna find in a good pond.
Yep. What brought you down to Alabama, and what brought you to the surf?
We came down here on a vacation, and I pretty much didn't want to go back. I got down here. And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This is Alabama?" Like her parents were down here. They moved here, and we came down on vacation to visit them, and that was it. I was like, "We don't even need to go back. We could just, we could literally just buy new stuff and call it good." But yeah, we went back for a year and got our ducks in a row and all that, and we did end up moving down. And surf fishing's it's awesome. We have New England surf fishing's it's a bit different,
Yeah.
but I didn't really even do a lot of surf fishing up there. I did some when I was a kid. Uh, striper, bluefish, all that blackfish, all that type of stuff. But I was pretty young and had no clue what I was doing. But down here, I mean, there's so many species that I haven't hooked into yet. So it's exciting.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to get in the surf here. I mean, you got a
Oh,
decent idea, but
yeah,
there are days where did that come from?
yeah, you don't know. You have no idea.
So one of the things that I know about you is you used to be in the culinary world. You were a chef, and now you moved into a YouTube angler. So I guess kind of how did then I didn't put this in the questions, so sorry about that. How did you go from that to YouTube angler?
Oh, I've gone from a few
Yeah, I was
things,
gonna say there's
but
more. I mean, by all
oh
means.
yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah, I started culinary arts when I was in high school. I did a couple years of vocational school education, and then rolled straight into a restaurant, pretty popular restaurant on the Lake Winnabaki, and we were doing everything. Just working in the front of the house kitchen, going in the back of the house working wedding food and all kinds of stuff. I had the joy of doing quite a bit of stuff, and I did eventually get away from culinary arts, but I've always loved to create new things, come up with different stuff, and cooking for people's fun. I like to cook for people and watch them enjoy it.
Yeah, I like being that person that's receiving. I mean, if you haven't seen my
Yeah,
picture, you guys would totally not know that. Um,
I'm no different. I'm not a light guy.
we're just harder to kidnap, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So when it came to the YouTube piece after you got down here, what made you want to run that way?
Initially, we started. Honestly, I had the Instagram started with freshwater fish back home
Oh, okay.
shortly before we moved. So it kind of started with Instagram, and then it popped into, hey, let's make a Facebook, and then we made a Facebook, and I think that's up to like 12 or 1,500 followers or something like that, and eventually it just led into YouTube. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with YouTube. You don't have to take the same road everyone else has, but YouTube is definitely fun and it's challenging for sure. So I like
Yeah.
fishing. I like challenges when you're fishing too. It's how you become much better of an angler.
Right. Become stagnant. You give yourself something to achieve.
Yeah, it forces you to if you need to come up with footage to put out a video and the weather's not cooperating, or say the surf is just wild and it's just not fishable. It forces you to go over into the bay, target trout or flounder. It forces you to kind of broaden your horizons.
So speaking of trout, and I know this isn't on there either, uh, you've had trout, you've had brook trout, you've had freshwater trout, and you've had
Oh yeah,
speckled trout. Any differences?
yeah, completely different.
Uh-huh.
It's not even close. I mean, it tastes great. It is a good tasting fish. I'm not gonna knock it at all. But yeah, when you grow up with trout and salmon fish, it's completely different.
I tried to explain that to somebody not too long ago. I'm like, it's not, it's the same name, but it's not the same fish. The flavor is different. The
Yeah,
profile is different.
yeah. Let's just say a lot of folks down here may not like a nice tasty brook trout or a salmon that's from the lake. It's because it tastes like fish.
Yeah, it definitely is a
It,
fish
it
forward flavor.
yeah, it's not something you're gonna make taste like chicken, or it just tastes like fish, and it's delicious. I miss it, but down here, I mean, there's a lot of really good quality fish down here. It's
Yeah.
it's great.
I wish we had the salmon like we do back there. I do miss a good salmon.
Yeah, I mean, we had both. We had the lake I grew up on primarily was Winnabaki, but we had Lake Wentworth too. It's another big lake there, and yeah, they have landlocked salmon, so those are pretty tasty.
Yeah. Yeah, landlocks are good.
But no, yeah. But then we used to have the opportunity to get down to the end of the Penn if you wanted to go down there, and you could catch Atlantic salmon when they come in on their run. So yeah,
hmm
it's amazing.
So any of you want to go up to New England and do some fishing? There's a lot of channels you can listen to and videos you can see, and you could probably also reach out to Mike and say, "Hey, what is it about this?" You'll get a ton of knowledge. Go back and go into his archives too. There's stuff there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you ever have a question about freshwater fishing, feel free to reach out.
There you go.
I can tell you what you need to. I can tell you where you need to go and what you need to carry for sure.
I probably need to talk to you offline because I am the world's worst freshwater angler in my entire family, actually. So yeah, they're if we're ever sent inland, I'm screwed. I can live just fine on the surf. I can catch all day in the surf. I can't catch a fish to save my ass back home. I really can't.
Sometimes with freshwater fish, my biggest thing was always, it's not always the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish
hmm
with freshwater, depending on where you're at.
Right.
I mean, you can catch, a monster rainbow trout on a tiny little mosquito fly.
Yeah. Fly
So
fishing's a whole that
yeah,
had a whole episode on. All right, I'm getting way off because I could do this all day. So when it comes back into the surf fishing world, you're going to go fishing. How do you plan your fishing trip?
depends on weather and conditions. If I can, and what species is going. If pompano's running, I'm going pompano fishing.
Okay.
Everything else kind of takes a back seat to the pompano, and so we'll get rigged up to do pompano. We'll make sure all the rods are rigged up with uh, at least two or three of them will have like a Salty's pompano rig or a Frisky Fins pompano rig. And then I usually keep one or two rods tied up with a single drop rig. Sometimes there's no float. Most of the time I don't put a float on it. I'll put just a single bead, or I'll take the bead off. And oftentimes that does the trick. I mean, but
Wow.
you keep it pretty basic.
Going a
And
little naked, huh? All right.
yeah, and it works. I'm
Yep.
telling you.
Well, I think it's an overlooked thing to go naked on the gear. I really do. I think it's overlooked.
Yep, it is. Everybody's, they go for the big bling on the on the pompano rigs, and sometimes it's not all about the bling.
Yeah. Do you do any double droppers like one drop's gonna have something and then the other drop's naked?
Yeah, I have. I've also done like a top with a float, and then just the bottom with a bead or
Yeah.
a couple beads. So that works out pretty good too.
Okay. Yeah. It's always adapting.
Oh yeah.
When you get to the beach, you've already got your plan. All right, hey, this is where I'm going. You already talked about that. You've already looked at weather and your target species, your targeting. Got that. When you get to the beach, what are you looking for?
I'm looking primarily for deep troughs, cuts, any rip currents are excellent to fish. Points that are jutting out from the beach. They always have a couple good pockets on either side of them that you have to look for them. You have to fish them because there's usually fish in there. And that's if I'm fishing with lures and just casting all morning, I'm looking for bait busting, birds flying, all that. The typical signs that there's something in the water feeding. But
Yep.
if I'm going for pompano and whiting, it's definitely looking for holes and cuts.
So when you're throwing lures, like, since you bring that up, what do you like to throw? Spoons, topwater? What's your go-tos?
Top water is the most fun, but
Yeah.
usually the most productive and the most versatile is throwing spoons.
Okay.
Spoons will pretty much. I've seen people pull in big black drum on gold spoons. I'm like what? I mean, like literally, I'm over there throwing a silver spoon, hitting Spanish and bluefish at one after another, and then you got somebody just a few feet down, and they're pulling in a black drum on a big fat gold spoon. I'm like, man, you can't beat spoons. Yeah, jacks will eat spoons. I mean,
Yeah. Well, with this whole weather, I mean, especially with what we're going through now, I know we're all stacked up in the grass of the ocean, it seems.
oh
Definitely
yeah,
puts a small kibosh on that.
yeah. I mean, definitely if you're running spoons and trebles and all that, but hopefully it'll just beach itself and we can clean the water, get the water cleaned up, and we can
Mhm.
get out there and start pitching for some jacks and hook some Spanish on the beach. It's always fun.
Those are tasty.
Oh yeah.
So, how do you set up your gear when you're there? So, what I mean is, uh, what do you set? Like your set rods? Hey, yeah, you're using these rods with, you've already told me about the rigs you're using with Salty and Friskies. All of those together. How do you set your stuff up?
Usually it's a four rod spread. Um, two two of the rods I always have are 10-foot H2O Expresses. They're cheap, reliable, and you can chuck a 4 ounce weight on those things
Yeah.
half a mile. So I always have those. I have at the moment I'm using a 9-foot Penn Prevail 2 with a 5,000 battle on it, and they are all running 20 pound. A couple of the 9-foots have 30 pound on them
Okay.
because oftentimes those rods may get a lure thrown on them, and if you're out there with any poppers or whatever, and you hook into a nice shark, the 30 pounds nice.
Yeah. It's always a nice little buffer right there.
Yeah, it the 20 pounds a little sketchy.
I mean, it's strong, but I agree. It's kind of like, I mean, I can throw 30. It's okay.
Yeah, it's more than sufficient for you hook a nice jack or something, or even a big red. 20 pounds perfect. I like 20 pounds, especially with set rigs. Cuts to the surf better, and it casts so much smoother and further than 30 or even 50 pounds. So
Yeah.
I definitely like the 20 pound the most. But when you're out there with a big popper, that's expensive. Like they're not getting any cheaper.
Yeah.
And a shark hits it, you're like, I don't want 20 pounds.
Fair.
You definitely want some 30 pound spun onto some 80 pound or 100 pound.
Fine, we're just fishing with giant mono from now on. That's it. We're just sending out the giant cord.
Uh, sometimes I wish it could, but you'd need an awfully big reel.
Yeah, yeah. And the bigger the reel, the bigger the price tag.
Yeah, yeah, and you gotta chuck that thing all day long too. So,
That sounds tiring. I'm good.
uh-huh.
What are your bait choices when you're going out? So I know that you have talked about pomp, but break us down. What baits are you using for what fish?
My favorite baits for pompano is definitely live bait for pompano is sand flea all day long.
Okay.
And pretty much, I mean, sand fleas are uh, great for all kinds of fish, especially whiting, the redfish, the drum, black drum. All of them love it. I've had a lot of luck on them. I mean, I've sight casted redfish on a Carolina rig with sand fleas.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was great.
That had to have
Just
been fun.
Oh yeah, we were just watching him. We were leaving for the day, and we saw him, and I was like, oh man. And he was just foraging around this little pocket. I was like, I gotta try it. So I grabbed a flea, put it on my Carolina rig rod, just a medium heavy inshore setup, and just chucked it down in there and gave it a few good pulls and kicked up some dust on the bottom. He saw it and he just went straight for it, and it was game on.
Oh man, how big was he?
Oh god, I had to throw him back.
Oh,
He was probably like,
yeah.
I think he was like right at over our limit.
Oh,
Here.
just above. He was just above slot.
Just above, yeah. I mean, I could have kept him because Alabama has their, you can keep one above slot, but I don't usually do that. So yeah, we threw him back, but it was a good time.
Oh, that's like borderline heartbreaking. It's always those ones. It never fails. There's always that one that's like right at the cusp.
Yep. But yeah, some of the slot fish taste better anyways.
They
the
do.
bigger they get, the bigger they get, the meat's a little different. But
yeah, I know this next question isn't in the question marks here, but you raise a good one. How did you see the redfish?
just good polarized glasses.
Okay.
Actually, I might have had my cheapies on that day, but
Oh wow.
yeah, you have to have the polarized lenses for sure. And it was a good, clean, clear day, which we don't always have that benefit here in Alabama.
Yeah,
You Florida,
different.
you Florida guys tend to get some crystal clear water.
We are spoiled.
Yeah, a little bit.
So a little bit of movement, and then you saw him there. Okay. Huh. I have the worst time seeing fish. I don't know what it is. I can't.
When I'm looking at the water most of the time, like some fish you won't see anyways. You'll see the shadow before you really see the fish. So you just get used to looking for just like the dark spots, shadows, and once you see a shadow, you can look to see if you can identify if it's a fish or a piece of debris or whatever's in the water. But
Okay, so I need to get better at looking. Got it. I mean, I've had Blake Hunter from Real 30A try to explain it to me, and I just keep on saying, I'm like, I just can't see these fish. And I've had a lot of people come on and tell me, I sight cast. I'm like, how do you see it? I've got good polarized glasses. I can see in the water, but what are you looking for? And one Blake had told me was you just look for you'll see the shine.
Like, yeah, sometimes you'll see a flash, like with a pompano and probably Spanish. You'll probably see a flash, and that's a pretty good indication.
Okay, so look for the flash. Got it. Well, that's perfect timing then, since we're talking about the flash. That means yes. I love that sound. Oh, I love that sound way too much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your first bait check. 25 minutes into the interview, If you're out there fishing, don't forget to reel that line in. Check out that bait. If it needs to be re-topped off, top it off, change it up. If you didn't get any bites on it, change your bait. Now's a good time. All right, back to what we were talking about. So sand fleas, since we're on the bait subject, sand fleas is your favorite. Oh, what else do you like to use?
Oh my! The next best thing, I don't leave the house if I'm set rigging. I don't leave the house without easy flea fish bites.
Okay.
Will not, pretty much won't hit the beach without them. You got to have them. I mean,
Rich.
a lot of the different flavors are really good, but that one right there, the easy flea fish bite definitely catches fish.
Yeah, that's a hard one not to. That's a hard one to argue with because I love fish bites. It's always with me.
Yeah, they're excellent.
What do you typically fish for?
It's good. I've started just fishing for everything. I'm an opportunistic kind of angler.
There you
I'm
go.
not, when the sheep are in, I'll target sheep. When the flounder get hot, I'll go after flounder. It's I'm not just set out on the beach all the time with four rods fisherman. Really, I mean, if there's an opportunity that we have after I'm, get out of work and we can go down and throw some gotchas for some Spanish down in the pass, we do it. It's we just fish for fun. A lot of times it's for fun.
Okay. You've been showing it up. You've really been doing a big number, and I think your channel has been showing that, and I think people are definitely learning from you. Wh-
Yeah, we're slowly growing. So
But isn't it the greatest thing when it grows naturally too?
yeah, yeah, because if you feel better about it for sure. You're building your own thing. It's awesome.
Speaking of YouTube, would you say that having your channel has made you a better angler?
Uh, in a way, like I said before, when you want that footage to get a video out, especially when you're a weekend warrior YouTuber. It's nice to be, sometimes you're just forced into fishing different areas and trying to get whatever you can just to put out a little piece of footage. It
Yeah.
may not be what you want to target, but you know, if the surf's too rough and you need to resort to looking for some trout or jigging around for some flounder, and that's what you got to do, and it does force you to kind of uh, broaden horizons and stay fresh.
Yeah. Because you're not just doing surf fishing in your YouTube. You're going all over.
Yeah, I'd put more freshwater stuff in there, but it doesn't really. Once you start doing your saltwater journey, your freshwater videos don't seem to do as good. we we took we took our trip to Arkansas, and I was so happy. Like, I don't even, those videos could have no views at all, and I wouldn't even mind because I was so happy to get into some rainbow trout and stuff. It was fun getting
Hmm.
out there on some ultralight rods and tearing it up.
The ultralights. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's something to be said about those.
that's so much fun.
Yeah. Moving into your business, what is Al Surf Casco?
Well, I started it. They named it Alabama Surf Cats Co. with the idea that I would start my own company. Maybe even in the future bring other people in and stuff like that. But I always knew I wanted to do something, whether it was the YouTube, because this was all before I'd even started the YouTube, but
Mhm.
whether it was YouTube or working on an apparel line, designing some stuff, or whether it was even uh, maybe even working on designing my own lures down the road. So I always had that idea that I wanted to do. So that's how Alabama Surfcast started.
Okay. Well, you brought up the apparel part. Tell us about the apparel.
Well, right now it's design phase. I'm trying to find somebody that I can go through, get a quality shirt that I can offer at a good price because I don't want to be putting out products and having to charge like $45 for a shirt. It's like I want to be an affordable option for people and still have cool designs on gear. Just surf fishing designs for sure, surf fishermen.
Yeah, yeah, that's not an easy hill to climb.
Oh no, there's so many companies and brands out there that everybody goes with, and yeah, I'd like to be able to offer something cool and have it for an affordable price because things are getting more expensive all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all sad as soon as so many things just flashed through my
So
mind as soon as you said that.
so if I offer a cool shirt for 25-30 bucks, that leaves you guys 10-15 bucks to go buy some bait.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why did you want to move into apparel?
Oh man, I've been an artist my whole life. Um, it's just one of those things. Like at some point, I'm almost 41 now, and
Yay, welcome to the club.
you got like you have this skill that you've never really used to try to start a business or whatever. And you're like, I got to do something with this. I mean, you take half your life to figure out that you should probably be doing something with artwork. So, well, definitely, that's the road I'm trying to take.
Be able to sell your art. I love it.
Yeah, it gives you something to do. You get it out, and you get all these designs in your head. You just want to get them out on paper and then do something with them. And like instead of just having them sitting in a sketchbook somewhere.
Yeah, 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 true, true, true. Oh, yeah, I know you have some stuff out now. How do people order?
Oh, I don't have it out yet. This
Oh,
summer we'll have it out.
I thought you
But
had it
yeah,
out. Okay.
oh no, not yet. But yeah, I mean, I've put some designs out for people to check out, and people are definitely like it. So that's cool, and we'll get that going this summer. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. I think I saw it was a couple of shirts I saw, which instantly made me go, "Oh, he's selling them," and I couldn't find them, so that was why I was asking because
Yeah,
I was
not
self.
yet. I had some designs on the Teespring website, which
Okay.
I still do. I still do have some designs like on some tumblers and things like that on uh, my Teespring store, which is still the same name, Alabama Surf Casco. And but I took the shirts and stuff down because I ordered some and put them through their paces and stuff, and the designs wore off pretty quick. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to go that route and offer something that people are going to pay 25-26 bucks for and have the design wear off in a couple months or whatever. I want something that'll last for people.
Yeah, well, that's good on you, man. Thank you for doing something like that.
But yeah, I mean, I still went through and put some tumblers, and I think there's some beach towels, and there's a bunch of the cool things that they offer on that platform that are still on there.
Okay. Well, we will be keeping our eyes out. And please, when you do launch, let me know so I can throw links up because I'm definitely going to buy, and I know other people will probably want to be happy to support you and buy as well.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely. Everybody will know. It'll be on every fishing page around.
Perfect. Well, backing into your culinary art, and the reason I bring this up is not too long ago, scrolling through the pages, I mistagged you after a set of Pampa. Yes, I will
I
admit my
remember this.
failures. I will admit my failures, and I apologize again. You had posted a Pompano Rangoons recipe, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Oh, this is brilliant! I got to do this!" And then I totally tagged Cheyenne. Um,
Yeah, I forget what it was. No, it was she had done she had done like fish cakes.
yeah, that's
That's
what
what
it
it
was.
was.
Yep,
She had done fish cakes, and you had tagged me as the fish cake guy.
that's right. I
And I
had
was
it
like, I was
backwards.
like, hold on, man, that's Cheyenne stuff. You gotta give her credit for that.
Yeah, there's only a couple of people that I follow, and like you, Cheyenne, and Life for Real. Oh man, just all of those together. I'd eat fish every day if I could cook like that. But I digress. Uh, how do you decide on how you're going to prepare fish to eat?
It just depends. It kind of just comes out of left field sometimes. Sometimes, and there's sometimes being that some of these species are totally new to me. You want to try something new, and like the Pompano rangoons, because the Pompano has like a sweet meat to it. It just seemed like a good idea to go for the nice, tasty, sweet, golden fried crab rangoons.
Are you trying to make me stop this interview and go get food? I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean everybody go check that out because those are delicious.
they were. They really were.
You'll either thank me or you'll hate me. One or the other.
Yeah. Rangoons have become one of those few things that it's a guilty pleasure now.
Oh, they're good, so good. But I mean, I just want to do different stuff, like because that's another thing with the YouTube thing is doing catch and cooks that are just different. A lot of times it's just fried fish or fish tacos. And it's like those are good. They're good. I love fried fish and I love fish tacos, but I want to do some different stuff, offer some new things that maybe people will try out.
Yeah, when I was talking to Sean Lawless with a Lawless Tide after he got his tuna, he said there's only so many times you can eat sushi. He's like you got to do something different with the tuna. And he was explaining all the ways he was making, and I was like, can I just catch a tuna to have one? I just want to try it once.
Yeah. Oh, tuna's delicious. It's really best seared up real quick with a nice warm center. That's really the best way to eat a tuna.
Mm. So does that mean you're gonna come out in a kayak next fall, winter, and come catch one?
I'll have to go get a kayak.
Oh no, not that. Another
Oh
thing
yeah,
to throw at fishing.
yeah. Another way to make bringing home dinner more expensive.
Yeah. Sad truth.
Yep, unfortunately.
I swear I look at tuna and I'm like, well, I could go catch it, and then I might stop and I go, you're an idiot. Just buy the damn tuna. You don't need 100 pounds of fish sitting in the freezer like that. You're insane.
Oh, I would. Yeah, yeah. I'd keep as much as I could, but I'd have some happy friends.
Yeah, yeah. I can only imagine there.
Oh yeah.
Well, final
Man,
question.
when we first moved here, I was giving away Pompano to my friends. So or I was putting them back.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, you guys only have the 3 limit, and I think Florida, we're probably headed that direction. But even having 3, taking home 3 for me, I'm like, that's perfect. That's me and one for the kid with spare to go. At 6, I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do with all these? All right, I got to cut this one this way. Okay, I got to store this one this way. With
yep.
yours, the 3 limit, you guys play it a little different, I'm betting.
Yeah, the 3 limit is especially when the season starts off. Like you'll end up with you'll catch some that are like just a keeper, and they're like,
Yep.
I want a Pompano so bad, so I want to keep you, but I want one that's got a little more beat on the bone, and let's throw that one back.
Oh yeah. Pulling
So
up
yeah.
those 3 in, those big wide bodies, the ones with shoulders. You're like, oh, you're gonna be so good.
Oh yeah. They're like they are my favorite. They're probably my favorite fish
They are really
down
good.
here so far.
So would you
One of
say?
my favorites.
Okay, so I'll throw a hypothetical: pompano or whiting, if you had to choose.
Pompano.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, Faye's the other way around.
She.
So yeah,
Okay.
she's a whiting person. She'll take the whiting all day long.
Whiting is good, but all our fish here is pretty good. I haven't found. Well, I haven't tried ladyfish yet or remora. It's on the list of things to try this year, but those 2 are good. They are good.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll bring myself to try a remora. We did just catch a huge one the other day, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
I've been told it tastes like cobia, and I've never had cobia. So, if that's an indication for me of like, all right, I'll try it. I did do the catfish catch and cook, and it was fine. It was whatever. It wasn't horrible, but I figure you got to try everything eventually.
Yeah, I think I'll leave that up to you guys.
I
You
appreciate
guys
it.
can try.
Thanks.
You
Thanks.
guys try and
I'll be that
let me
friend.
know.
I'll do that for you. I'll be that friend.
All right, cool.
What is your hands down go to way to cook just to catch a cook? It's like, look, I'm tired. What's going to be? I'm just going to make this. What's your normal way?
If it's pompano, well, I'll just come home and grill it. It's just
Okay.
the easiest, like quick little seasoning, a little bit of butter, throw it on a grill. It's a great grilling.
Butter.
If it's the fighting, I have to fry it for the misses because
Oh.
it's just how it goes.
A little light breading and go.
Yeah, give them a little panko and hit the grease.
Oh man, panko makes things awesome.
Oh yeah,
It's definitely one that's. I think panko is missed on frying fish sometimes.
I use it a lot for frying fish.
Okay.
The beer is great too, but
Yep.
yeah, the panko is definitely nice. It's crispy and it's good.
What has been your favorite fishing memory since you've moved down here?
Since I've moved down here, favorite memory, definitely the Jack Crevalle that I picked up. It was a goal to catch it. We hit the beach. We had the cameras rolling, and as soon as we hit the beach, perfectly calm conditions, and there was already bait swirling around. And it was one or two casts, and it was a couple pops, and it was his fish on. It was insane. And yeah, I mean, Faye hooked up, I hooked up, hers popped off, but uh, that's probably my favorite memory catching fish down here.
That's awesome.
Was
What
a
what,
blast.
what was the bait?
That was on, not sure what color scheme it is. It's like a blue mackerel looking Halco popper. The one Halco 135.
Oh wow, decent size.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Wow, and you hit it. That's cool. I've heard good things about
But
Halco poppers. So
oh, Halcos are great. They're good for, they're not just a popper. You can walk them like walk the dog style. You can straight retrieve them, or you can pop them like a popper. So I mean, they're versatile, and they held up. So
have
so
you
yeah, they're definitely a good option.
have you changed out the trebles at all, or had to do any of that, or is it all pretty much still the same stock?
I would suggest maybe putting a stronger hook on it, but the one I picked up, he was like 42 and a half inches. He was a bruiser, and he definitely bent out. He bent out a couple hooks. So like, yeah,
I've yet to catch one, but I've heard that they love to fight, and they are going to fight hard to get off that hook.
oh yeah, they run like I was using the Slammer on an 8 foot star rod. So the Slammer 4500 slowed him down pretty good, but the head shakes on that fish, oh man, they're it's absolutely awesome. They are brutal with their head shakes. It's so much fun.
Oh boy. Okay, now I'm going to have to get out there. So you saw the
Yeah.
bait pool at that one, and you threw at the bait, and it finally happened for you and Faye. You both were probably thrown within the same 30, 40 yards apart, and
Yep.
it just hooked up
Throw,
and went.
we're throwing right at that same, right over it, and just cast over the bait and drag it through. And unfortunately, hers popped off.
She got the lure back though, right?
No, no, that's gone.
Oh,
That's the problem with big popper fishing.
oh, that hurts me from here.
Oh, I think that weekend was like $125 weekend.
Oh, ow.
Between between that and getting sharked, yeah, it was an expensive weekend.
Yeah, the sharking one, I think, the tax man, he's real.
Oh yeah,
Oh, he's vicious.
this season we'll definitely be putting put a length of steel on there. It would be my best advice. Long leaders and a piece of steel. Save your money.
Oh man, just put it on a rope line. Like, come here.
They're a lot of fun too on top water. When you get smashed by a shark on top water, it's like, whew, the
Oh,
drag just screaming. It's amazing.
oh boy, yeah, that fight
It's
would
fun.
be that seems like a fight and a half.
It's great.
Okay, sharks and jacks, top water. Got it. Adding to the list of 2022.
It's that time of year. We're
Yeah, it
getting there.
is. It really is. What is a goal catch for you for 2022?
Gold kit for 2022. I've wanted a mahi since I got here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been here for almost 4 years, and as soon as I got down here, I was like, I want to catch a mahi.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's an offshore trip that I got to take.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear from talking with the captains on the Friday night report on Panhandle Fishing Report, they're here.
Nice. I love it.
The captains are all, yeah, we're just throwing at grass mats and we're hitting them. I'm like,
Yeah.
where? They're saying, yep, come on out now. You can get mahi. Kings are in plentiful supply. It's just apparently, yeah, whole cornucopia, I guess, is our water temperature is so good now. But yeah, you get after it, man. Mahi's here.
Heck yeah. I mean, and my bucket list, I mean, I got a bucket list of fish down here. Like, so, I mean, but I've always wanted to catch a mahi. They're beautiful. They're such a weird looking fish. I've always catch one. I don't know. There's always been a lure to a mahi.
Well, now you tell me you got a bucket list. I mean, can I get a couple more? What else do you want to catch? Now you got me intrigued.
King mackerel,
Uh-huh.
alco. I'll take anything.
All right, so you're gonna be planning a couple of offshore trips this year for sure.
I'm definitely an angler that just it's not just I'll go after one focus. I would love to catch a long list of species down here. There's so many fish that I haven't caught. It's like a playground.
Oh yeah, hands down. Well, if you ever cross into the Florida one, don't forget to check out Catch a Florida Memory, and you can use that list to check off and see if you can't get to the 50.
I'll have to try that.
Oh, it's dangerous. It borderlines the hashtag goals. It's like, okay, fine, I will work to catch all of you. It's a good list, that's for sure. Really good looking fish.
I've got lists for South Florida too. So
Oh man, I've heard great things about South Florida fishery.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, just going after some tarpon, snook, and peacock bass.
Oh, peacock
That
bass.
there you go. Vacation. That's it. Vacation made. Snook, tarpon, peacock bass. Done.
All right. Yeah, that's not a tall list for a vacation run at all. Not even a little.
Nah,
That'll be good though, man.
it's doable.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah, it is. Absolutely doable. Well, speaking of doable, second call on the bait check. We're at 40. I went a little early on you. I'm sorry, y'all. But I knew the next question we'd go long. So, second bait check. Now's that time. Go ahead and reel that in. Check it, top it off, make sure it's good to go. If it hasn't worked by now, man, after two, switch it up, man. And maybe even think about moving. It's not a bad idea. Plus, you can pause the podcast and come back to it. It'll be great. Well, all right. Where are we? Here we are. So you've been here. We've all been there because we're all, we've been fishing for a couple of years or not longer. And when you came from New England, you came down here, you also learned and you started out. Two questions. One is not on the list, but I've been meaning to ask it more. What do you wish a new angler would do before ever putting a line in the water for the first time?
You gotta do your research. Learn how to read the surf. I think that's the most important thing I've done. Moving down here and going after a whole new fishery was learning how to read the surf.
What was one of the hardest parts for you reading the surf? You bring that up, and this is a good conversation piece because I know I can talk about this easily on this one. But what was the hardest thing for you on that?
I mean, when you first start, it's hard. You're
Yeah.
looking out at the waves and you just don't know what you're looking at. You know, but after a while, if you can get out there on a day where there's actually some good wave action, it makes it a lot easier for you.
Oh, good call. Real good call.
Calm days and you're walking down the beach, I just try to tend to focus on darker water. If I can find holes with darker water, deeper water, that's where I'm going to fish. And if I have to move on to another hole, I will. But start with some darker water on the calm days, and if it's a good day where you can identify your cuts well and good good wave action, you'll be able to spot it. It's you got waves on either side of it, and just waves flowing through the middle. Yeah, that middle is the target.
Yep. Rips were my hardest thing to. I mean, granted, I grew up surf fishing, or not surf fishing. I grew up for a few years in Hawaii and learning how to boogie board and surf. And I could see a rip current out there, but for some reason, when I moved here, I'm like, where the hell's the rip current? I don't see it.
They're probably smaller here. I mean, in Alabama, I mean, it might. And I've been over into God. We went to Santa Rosa Beach and a sandbar. The sandbar there, a couple hundred yards away. So I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just like literally just looking for deeper water on that one. I was like, that's all we can do, really.
Yeah.
Unless you truck all the way out there and throw, which you can do. But in here in Alabama, you get a lot of deep troughs that are close up, and you'll get some pretty defined cuts too, and they're really really pretty easily identifiable if you have a little bit of wave action.
Yep, so there you go, people. Definitely, if you're gonna go learn, wave days are a good thing. Flat days suck, in my opinion. Flat days, ooh.
Scouting is key for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
I've always wanted, like, if you're coming down on vacation to fish and you're in one of these condos, I mean, look down off your balcony. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Just looking down on the water from your balcony.
Yeah, the people that are up on like this fifth or above story, I envy a little. It's kind of like, hey, can you take a picture and text it to me? Be your bro. I need to see what's out there right now.
Yeah, I get that advantage, and it helped because I work at a big condo place, and I get to look down on the surf.
Oh, well
So
played, sir. Well played indeed.
I get to see what everything looks like, and yeah, it's the best thing to learn. Is you definitely got to learn how to read the surf, because you can throw almost any bait you want to, and if you're throwing it somewhere where there just isn't going to be much fish traffic, you're not going to catch much.
Yeah.
It's really where you're fishing versus what awesome bait you throw.
Interesting. Good point there, man. That's a really good point.
I mean, man, I've gone out with just fish bites. Heck, I've gone out with just crusty fish bites on a hook that got left there from the day before. but because I fished, a good cut, and they got rehydrated again, and started catching pompano. So didn't even have no shrimp, no sand fleas, no ghost shrimp. It was just all a matter of knowing where you're gonna throw the bait.
Well, there you go. And Brett even said that in his Fish Bites interview. He's like, if there's still some on there, there's still scent. It will work.
Oh, it will work, yeah.
So the question that's not on there that I should have told you about, and I apologize, but I'll throw it at you now. What gear do you recommend for a new angler?
You don't have to break the bank.
There it is.
At all.
Yep.
You really don't. You don't need to break the bank at all. I mean, we started with, when we first came here, I bought one 8-foot Hurricane Mako, and I ran that thing until I broke the handle off of it.
Nice.
On a Pompano, I had like 25 yards or so of line still out. I had to run backwards as fast as I could so I couldn't lose that fish.
Okay.
And then one of them's a 7-foot Citadel. I mean, that thing. And the funny thing is that little 7-foot Citadel, because that's my close bait rod.
Mm-hmm.
That cheesy $30 setup or whatever it is now from Walmart has caught 30-pound black drum. It's caught big redfish. It's caught numerous pompano, piles of whiting. I mean, that cheesy little rod is, you don't have to break the bank to start, but if you're interested in a rod that you can surf fish with and you're living here now or you're going to come back regularly, you can't really go wrong with the 10-foot H2O from Academy, the H2O Express.
Yeah, Academy Sports did a pretty good job with that rod.
Yeah, it's a durable rod. It's hard to find. I'm not going to lie. It's extremely hard to find.
Yeah, every time they've seemed to got it, Justin from Justin Reed Fishing, he's got one and he's been trying to get another. He's like, every time I look, it's gone. Every time they get restocked, gone instantly.
Yeah, they're gone. The last one I managed to get, they actually, I had an email thing. You can go on their thing and just subscribe to an email notification when they have them in stock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they let me know, and I went in there. I'm like, oh, sweet, they got the 10-foot in, or they said they had the 12-foot in. I was like, you know what? It's not the 10, but I'll go for a 12. I get in there and it's a 10. I was like, yes, thank you. I was like, thank you for that mistake. I love it.
How many H2Os are you running now?
I got 2 of them.
Okay.
I like to keep. I don't buy. I do like to have rods that are different lengths for sure. I don't like to on the same length rod every time. Like if I need to throw deep, that 10-foot rod's is plenty good enough for it.
We could talk about that real quick. I mean, we could talk about that for a while because I agree. I've got 9, 10, 11. Yeah, because the beach runner's an 11. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And it's so, people are like, why don't you just keep the same thing? Because each one's got a different purpose. Oh, and my ice fishing rod, which I love my rod. That's a fun rod. But all these rods, you can do so much with a different size rod. You don't have to run 12-footers.
Yeah, and they're all different too. Like it's not, and sometimes it's not the length. I mean, it's definitely your technique is big, but also learning how well that rod will load up with whichever weight is best for it.
Yeah,
is really, really important. Like the 10-foot H2O Express loads up very well with a 3 or 4 ounce weight, and it'll sling it.
That's rated up to what, a 6 or 7?
It's rated up to a 6.
Yeah,
I believe. And I have never, I mean, other than throwing a chunk of cut bait with like a 4 ounce weight on it, right. I've never slapped a piece of 6 ounce lead on it or anything. But.
Yeah, that'd be something. 5's heavy, but I can only imagine throwing 8 and bait or anything of these other ones. Yeah, but that's a lot of weight.
Oh yeah, and most of the time, like with the cut baiting on Alabama beaches, you don't have to throw it real far most of the time.
Yeah, I think that the close one's overlooked by a lot of people.
Yeah, it's not. That's another important tip. It's not about casting the Cuba at all.
Yep.
It's really not. Don't underestimate what's 10 foot or less in front of you, because I've caught a ton of fish all within 10, 15 feet of the beach.
Well, hell, the sharks will come up right to the shore. I mean, you can see them cruising in the first cut within 30 feet.
Yep, I don't even know if I have it on footage. I might have it on footage on YouTube, but we were out there just smashing bluefish and ladyfish constant. It was just like one after another. It just wouldn't stop. Big schools coming through down at Mobile, down Fort Morgan.
Uh-huh.
And the next thing you know, he figured it out or tasted it in the water. But it had to have been like a 9-foot, 8-foot, 9-foot hammer. Whoa. Just start coming in and just start circling and taking down fish. I was like, and he was coming right 2 feet off of the beach. I was like, ooh, not swimming here.
Yeah, no. I've said it in this podcast before, and I will happily say it again. I don't go in the water that much because I know it's out there.
Yeah,
And I know my shark friends make fun of me. Like, they're not going to mess with you. I know they're not going to. I totally, and I love that about the sharks. However, I'm the apex predator on land. I'm not the apex predator in the water.
No, not at all.
All right, final question for you. What's next for you and Alabama Surf Cast Company?
It's just to keep on rolling, get the YouTube built up. I'd really like to see that grow. I mean, we got the Facebook grows pretty well, and it's nice, and we're going to start throwing out some more tips and tricks and stuff as we roll on. But getting the YouTube going and having a place where I can display, cool looking shirts and designs, that's the goal. That's the immediate future of Alabama Surfcast right now.
That's good stuff, Mike. Well, thank you so much for coming on, man. Again, I mean that. I'm very thankful that you came on and let me do this interview with you. We've been talking about it for a little while, and finally the schedule lined up and everything worked out. But I'm really glad that you were able to carve out some time and share your story and share some knowledge for some people.
Oh yeah, anytime. You can have me on anytime you want.
Oh, so sold. Careful, because it'll happen. I will call again. Social media, where can we find all of your stuff?
Oh, it's same thing. It's AL Surfcast Co. on TikTok. I got it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
There you go. So there you go, everybody. Go take a look at that. Like, subscribe, share. Check all that stuff out. You're not going to be disappointed, I promise. You really won't. I love it. So hopefully it helps somebody out there. All right, man. I'm going to let you get out of here. Thank you again, and I know we'll be talking soon.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy. All right, talk to you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. We just got done talking with Mike Raspante of Alabama Surf Cast Company. I hope that this episode was helpful for you. There was a lot of great knowledge dropped in there, not to mention a lot of Mike's story. I know he's got more to tell, and he's got a lot of that all on his social media. So make sure, like we said, check it out. AL Surf Casco, all platforms. And if you have questions, he even said reach out. He'll be happy to answer them for you. So if this episode has been helpful for you, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can find this podcast on all platforms where podcasts are carried. Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, even on iHeartRadio and some of the other small ones, Podbean, Pod Addicts, all of it. Share it out. It's only going to help things get better, and you're going to help somebody out there that's been wanting to do fishing. So I appreciate you. Glad you were here. We'll see you next week. You've been listening to Finding Demo Surf Fishing. I'll see y'all later.